Previously on Pokémon Science and Magic. After finally arriving in Heron City, we made our way to the Battle Palace, where we met up with Professor Salix and Thor. There, not only did we learn the truth about these armor-charged Pokémon, but we also learned that Team Ragnarok is trying to gather multiple scrolls that have been scattered throughout the region. Now, after a bit of a complicated battle with one of our rivals, Loki, we are heading to Frostbit Falls to see if we can get another one of these scrolls, and prevent it from falling into Team Ragnarok's hands. Will we manage to get there? Welp, let's find out today! If you have no further business in Heron City and wish to progress with the story, you will have to move on to Route
6.
Woo! Sorry lads, it's just, well, the original Pokemon Science and Magic never progressed this far, so, well, in terms of the story of the region, so, I don't know, I'm a little excited to show off what's coming up next. Anyway, this coastal route goes completely uphill in order to get to Thrush City, which is in the mountains. So not only can you expect to find a good chunk of hikers trying to climb this mountain, but, of course, it's obviously a good spot to find some new Pokemon. So, what do you say we dig around a bit and see if there's any other members we would like to add to our team? Also, I should mention that since there's nothing stopping you from coming to this route before progressing with the story, you can technically come here first if you want to catch a new Pokemon, before you go through everything we just went through in the last episode, including the Guild Master should you want to challenge him. Anyway, a very common sight that you will find on the mainland is the returning Renestone, the Prophecy Pokemon. No one really quite knows where these guys came from, but they're as old as the region itself, and are said to foretell the future with the mysterious markings that are painted all over their body. Each Renestone has a different marking, and a different set of markings, giving each Renestone a unique story to tell, should you be able to translate what those markings mean. Another new sight that you can find around here is one of my personal favourites. This is Joggoat, the Fun Run Pokemon. As that title implies, these Pokemon have a need for speed.
Gotta go fast!
Oh shoot!
Oh, my spine!
Ugh, Jesus Christ. Well, let me tell you, they put that speed to good use, because they're also very competitive Pokemon, always trying to one-up one another through races. In fact, they're so competitive that they'll actually burn out their own electric aura in order to try and beat one another, draining their electrical powers completely. Luckily, they have evolved a parasitic ability which allows them to absorb electricity through their special antlers. However, due to their competitive nature, this has led them to steal electricity from other electronic devices, and even drain the electricity of other electric Pokemon. Lastly, these Pokemon have a new special ability called First Strike, which boosts Joggoat's physical attacks so long as it's able to hit first. And trust me, a Pokemon this fast definitely will hit first. So, if tattooed rocks and energetic goats aren't your fancy, don't worry, there's still a handful of other Pokemon that you can find on this route. And trust me, for a rocky hill like this, there's a lot of them. So, diving right into it, all the Pokemon that you can find on this route other than these two are Woolert, which you can actually encounter for the first time here, Krytonium Centret, Ferris Wheel, Krytonium Baneri, Huscout, Jumpider, Trollbull, and Shrooterroll. In terms of the oldies, we've got Nosepass, Dwebble, Torkoal, Spinda, Clobbopus, Boldore, Onix, Wingull, Skiddo, Jigglypuff, Fletchinder, and Drifbloom. Well, that's certainly a lot of Pokemon, isn't it? However, in terms of newbies, we're not quite done here yet. By the looks of things, some more of your Pokemon are ready to evolve. So, let's see who you're adding to your team this time. Congratulations, because at level 24, your Huscout will evolve into Huscalpa, the Scout Pokemon. These wolves are determined creatures of ice and snow, and remarkably loyal to mankind. Their self-dedication to help them means that they will go through any blizzard and pull any load without hesitation. In colder parts of the region, and more uninhabitable ones, people will keep Huscalpa with them as rescue Pokemon. Oh, and in case you're wondering about those ice heels on the back of their feet, should Huscalpa lay down, it can actually use those heels to slide across the ground. In other words, it's a literal dog sleigh. It doesn't even need snow considering how slippery those heels are. Congratulations! At level 26, your Viscerine will have evolved into Gritterine, the Wolverine Pokemon. Due to inhabiting scrapyards to help cut down metal, Gritterine had got themselves a metal jacket to help keep them warm. On top of being a lot more aggressive than their pre-evolution, they're also a bit more reckless and cocky as well, leading them to cause a few accidents with their a lot more sharper and more dangerous claws. Congratulations, because at level 22, your Jumpider will have evolved into Springarak, the spring bug Pokemon. Thanks to its retractable spring legs, this Pokemon is able to jump over massive distances, which is a perfect mechanism if you want to escape some powerful predators. In fact, because of this ridiculous jumping capability, people will often put their Springaraks in a special fun run to see who can jump from one part of the region to the next, the longest and the quickest. The greatest record holder being a Springarak which once jumped from one side of the region to the other. Always glad to know that our arsenal of Pokémon is growing stronger every day, and we'll definitely be excited to see more of our Pokémon evolve in the future. However, these guys aren't the only sights to see around this rocky area. If we explore deep enough, we might be able to find a separate pathway. I mean, of course we're supposed to be heading off to Frostbit Falls, but I suppose a detour or two wouldn't hurt. Let's check it out, shall we? Oh, so this was down that separate pathway. Wow. I wasn't expecting to see something like this. Not only will these old ruins be a neat distraction for you to check out while you're traveling on your journey, but you'll also be able to find some more Pokémon around here, including some more newbies which you might want to add to your team. Starting things off, we have Hamor, the Lightning Strike Pokémon. If he looks familiar to you, that's because he is the pre-evolved form of Hammeredge. You know, the Pokémon that Thor used. He will evolve into Hammeredge if you level him up during an electric terrain. Hamor were said to start appearing after the days of the Krytonian War, and are said to be fueled by the spirits of those who perished during that conflict. Their spirits said to be fueling this object with overloading electricity, remnants of the energy they once had when they were alive. Another familiar face you can find around here is Marchweed, the damp plant Pokémon. These guys mostly inhabit swamps or overgrown areas such as this. They are ambush predators, using the vines that are attached to their body to create traps, which they lure unassuming Pokémon into before snagging them and drowning them into the swamps below. Or wasting them through other means, considering they can be found here too. As always, if these two don't tickle your fancy, there are a few other Pokémon that you can find here if you dig deep enough. Stuff like Valoraptor, Hoodwing, Aron, my pal Mimi, Renestone, Lemmingboo, Wurlisacoon, Burlisipede, Boldor, Dwebble, Duskull, Haunter, Golurk, and Morlul. Oh, and by the looks of things, it's not just Pokémon that we can find in these old ruins. Look! What in blazes? Oh, player, right? Well, I wasn't expecting you to come here. Actually, now that I think about it, I wasn't expecting anyone to come around these parts. Not many people really do. Still though, I do hope you're not wasting your time, and that you and Thor will show up at that temple at Frostbit Falls. Huh. Well, I have no trouble believing you. Thor, on the other hand, well, his heart might be in the right place, but let's just say sometimes his head isn't. I wouldn't have even requested him to do this job if I had the choice, but it was our guildmaster that decided this. I just hope he can keep his head straight long enough so we can get this job done. Me? Oh, well, I like to go to places like this when I want to be alone. You know, these ruins are actually the remains of a fortress that used to be around during the Krytonian War. The region is filled with places like this to remind us of our scarred past, and to remind me of mine. Oh, my apologies. Places like this remind me of my old home. And they also remind me what our guilds are fighting for. A better and more peaceful region. I just wish that the rest of the world could share this gift. Could you imagine that? A world with complete harmony. A world with global peace. Wouldn't that be the dream? Anyway, considering the fact that you actually managed to find this place, I think you're deserving of a little treat. Here, take this, just this once. Now then, I think you better get off to Frostbit Falls. Thor, as well as one of our guild members, should be waiting for you. I would personally love to assist, but I have other matters to attend to. I'm sure you lot can handle it though. Once you have finally made your way up the route, things will start to get chilly again as you enter Thrush City. This festive little spot doesn't really have much to offer outside of the Pokémon Center and a handful of side quests that you can do here. However, it is a very joyful town thanks to the famous wood carving shop that you can find in this location, as well as Frostbit Falls, which is the reason why most people decide to come to this place. The only other thing that catches people's eyes around here is this town's Pokémon Guild. Or rather, Pokémon Guilds, should I say. You see, similar to Pokémon Sword and Shield, there'll be a different Pokémon Guild here, depending on which version of the game you're playing. Now, in canon, there's technically 2 Pokémon Guilds here, but you'll only be able to access one, and again, it depends on which version of the game you have. So, for the sake of this video, let's take a look at both guild members and see what they have to offer. Ooh, this one looks nice and homey. Guild A is the most popular of the two, and, if we're being honest, the most fancy looking. A lot of it appears to be filled with wood-carved props and material. So much so, it pretty much acts like a maze which you'll need to go through if you want to face this guildmaster.
Well, it looks like we have a visitor here. Pleasure to meet you, lad. My name is Fergus, and welcome to my humble guild. Forgive me if it's a little cluttered. I like to work on my other projects here. Inito Queen will be coming soon though. They're going to pick this lot up and sell it throughout the entire region. I guess I could have taken a break, but I can't help it. Wood sculpturing is in my blood, just as I would imagine that Pokemon training is within yours. Speaking of which, if you've come this way to join our guild, I am sorry, but I'm afraid we won't be accepting new members at the moment. We are full as it is. Is that so? Well, that won't be a problem at all, my lad. I've battled many young trainers like yourself before, and seeing the smiles on their face as they connect with their Pokemon, it's just as lovely as handing out toys in my workshop to those young'uns. Oh, it reminds me of the old days. I remember seeing a similar smile to my nephew. You might know him. His name is Milo, and he's from my old home in Galar. Oh, the wee lad was a gentle giant, but he had a passion for Pokemon battling, and that was enough to make him a famous gym leader. Oh, I am so proud of that lad. I wonder when I'll be able to see him again. Anyway, I suppose that you would like that battle that you requested. Very well then, I suppose I have the time. Although I can assure you I am no pushover. After all, I am old, not weak. Just like my nephew, I specialize in grass-type Pokemon, and I taught him everything that I knew. After all, the Applin doesn't fall too far from the tree. So let's see what you've got. Ho ho ho! Don't worry, my lad. I'll go easy so you can get started. Go, Marshweed!
Like all other guild members before and after, Fergus has a special gimmick that either benefits him or hinders you. In his case, once the battle starts, a grassy terrain will be triggered, and there's no getting rid of it. So you're going to have to do this entire battle whilst that grassy terrain remains on the field. Ooh, I suppose that you're tougher than you look. Go, Livani! Respect your elders, why don't you? If you keep this up, you're going to break this old heart into pieces. Oh well, I suppose I've comforted you long enough. Go, Appleton! Congratulations, my lad. Oh, congratulations, my boy. I haven't seen a trainer as skilled as you in years. If we had the room, I would be honored to make you a member of our guild. But I know that's probably not where your loyalty lies. You would prefer to be in the company of your own guild. I respect that decision. However, should you ever want to help me out, you are welcome to. If you are unable to find me here, you can find me in the toy shop in town. In the meantime, take this as a little reward. Wow, what a nice chap. Well, now that we have beaten him, not only have we unlocked more side quests to do around the toy shop, but we'll be able to revisit him and help him out with a few other things he might need some assistance with, such as collecting some wood to help him out with his wood carving, or doing a bit of crafting yourself through some wood carving based mini-games.
Time paradox!
Guild B, on the other hand, is drastically different. It may be the least most popular of the two, but it is the biggest, with plenty of rooms dedicated to research. It pretty much works like a maze too, only in order to find the guild master here, you have to navigate through all these rooms and multiple floors. Actually, now that I think about it, by the looks of all these floors, they appear to be, well, dedicated more to research and science than actually being a functioning Pokémon guild. Oh, fascinating. So if I were to connect this with... What on earth? Where did you spring from? Oh, don't tell me you're another person who wants to join this guild. I've got enough of you clowns to pay as it is. Battle me? Puh! Newsflash, I don't have time for that. My research takes priority over everything else. Did you know that each Beedrill has a different sting with a different level of pain? I am this close to proving that, but yet, Claudes like you have to come along and tell me unimportant and irrelevant stuff that wastes my time. Miss Vanessa, there's been an avalanche near the Pokémon Center, and we've been tasked to clean it up. Ugh, that's rich. More unnecessary distractions. Can't you handle it yourself? I don't pay you to sit around on your lazy butts and do nothing all day. But, ma'am, you hardly pay us at all. Heck, most of our funding just goes to your research. Of course it does. My research matters. This job doesn't. I could have made a groundbreaking discovery about bug-type Pokémon right now, and yet, instead of spending my breath saying, Eureka! I'm wasting it on you and him. So go and take care of it. I don't care how you do it, or how long it takes, just do it. Oh, finally he's gone. Oh, yeah, of course, you. Now, what did you want again? Oh yeah, right, a Pokemon battle. Well, the short answer is no, I am not giving you your Pokemon battle because I am busy taking care of something that is far more important and far more irrelevant than you. Right now, I could have discovered a way to use Skorupi Venom to cure just about any disease that you can think of. So yeah, thank you for that, thank you for wasting my time, and thank you for ruining other people's lives. You could have saved those lives by not wasting my time. So, bye-bye. I'm sorry. What did you call me? Oh. Oh, okay then. Just for that, you're getting your Pokemon battle. But when I'm finished with you, you're going to be crawling home on the ground. Nobody has the gall to interrupt my precious research and gets away with it. I am going to personally make sure that you go home in a bag. Alright, let's just get this over with. Go, Beedrill! In Vanessa's case, the battle gimmick which will kick in once this match starts is that an infestation will activate. Basically, the effect of infestation will trigger on any new Pokemon that you send out, infecting them so Vanessa doesn't have to. Oh, you clod! I was going to research that later! Ugh, alright, now I'm mad. Go, Levani! Ugh, look, there. You've knocked out 2 of my Pokemon. Can we just end it? No? Ugh, alright, fine. Here, go be wisdom. Ugh, finally. It's over. Okay, there. There's your stupid Pokemon battle. Are you satisfied now? Because you just wasted hours of my work, which I could have used to benefit the world of bug-type Pokemon. I could have gotten a Nobel Prize, a reward for uncovering something that we never even knew about bug-type Pokemon before. But instead, I'm wasting it running this stupid scrap heap of a guild. Simple. How do you think I'm able to fund my research to begin with? The stuff I look into isn't cheap, you know. Running this trubbish fest is my only ticket to getting up there with the people that truly matter. Word of advice, kid. Only do the things that you want to do. Anything that you have to do in order to do what you want is irrelevant. Much like this stupid building and this stupid town and all the foolish clods that decided to work here. Now just take this and get out of my sight. I have important research to do. Sheesh, what crawled into her skin? Well, regardless, we can come back to this guild anytime we want. Though, not to disturb Vanessa, of course, not after all that. But we can come back here to help out her poor guild members with whatever jobs that they need doing. But for now, let's just leave the jerk alone to wallow in her own misery.
Get prat.
Phew, I'd probably need to sleep for a week after a tough guild master battle like that. However, no rest for the weary. We still have to get to Frostbit Falls after all. However, before we get the chance to leave town, it looks like somebody is here to see us. Ah, hello there, player. Glad I could catch up to you. Just thought I'd give you something before you tried raiding that temple over at Frostbit Falls. Take a look at this. This, player, is a charging gauntlet. It's what trainers use in this region in order to armor charge their Pokémon. At worst, it'll just give you a once per turn stat boost, but if you use its power on a Pokémon that's holding an armor fragment, well, I think you can imagine what would happen next. This gauntlet is essential for channeling your Pokémon's ability to armor charge, as well as controlling it. You'll be able to power up your Pokémon and revert it back to normal anytime during battle. However, fair warning, player, if you are going to armor charge your Pokémon, make sure they don't stay in that form for too long. And make sure to use it sparingly as possible. As I'm sure you're already aware, armor-charged Pokémon are much more powerful than their original forms. The armor halves all damage they take from normal Pokémon, and they gain access to a 5th supercharged move which they can use once per battle. However, these forms make a Pokémon a lot more aggressive. The longer they remain in them, the more angry and disobedient they become. In fact, after a few turns, they'll start disobeying your orders altogether. Luckily, that gauntlet gives you the ability to turn them back to normal any time during battle. However, those trainers who are ignorant enough to ignore this comment get severe consequences. Pokémon that remain in these forms for too long become so savage, their trainers lose control of them altogether, and, in most cases, they're chucked out into the wild. These Pokémon we have dubbed as Berserker Pokémon. They are the result of armor-charged Pokémon which trainers have lost control of, and now seek havoc wherever they go within the wild. It can be a real threat encountering a Berserker during your travels, so make sure to be careful. Luckily, if you do encounter such a Pokémon, I developed just the thing to take care of them. This is a Armor Ball. I built it out of various armor fragments that I have gathered. It should be able to help you capture those Pokémon quite nicely, and once you do, it will revert them back to their normal forms. Not to mention you'll be able to keep their armor fragment for yourself, so make sure you use these balls whenever you do encounter a Berserker. Now, player, do you understand how important it is to keep these armor-charged forms in check? Excellent. Then without further ado, I will entrust you with one of these gauntlets, just as I have entrusted 4. Oh, speaking of Thor, he wanted me to tell you that he might be late in meeting you in Frostbit Falls. He wanted to do something with Rachel, apparently. I just hope he doesn't take too long. Regardless, I better get back to my studies. Oh, and just one more thing before I forget. If the temple at Frostbit Falls has any interesting information that might aid into what those scrolls do, just let me know. I would love to go there and see it for myself, but I already have too much on my plate as it is. Being both a guild master and a Pokémon professor isn't as easy as you'd may think. Luckily, one of the Double C's highest ranking members will be there, so he'll be able to lend you some assistance. I must be off now, player. Take care. So, now we have the ability to armor charge our Pokémon. Well, Salix did tell us to be careful with it. I think it's best that we listen to his advice. Although, if we do get a grip on this whole armor charging thing, I'm sure it'll definitely come in handy when we decide to raid that temple next time, as our journey through Cryoto continues.